The business edition of 21 Minutes with KKB is proudly brought to you by
MTN Business Broadband.
First National Bank, Bank of the Changeables.
The Makers Electronics Company Limited, large and in charge with quality but affordable home appliances and consumer electronics.
Hello and welcome to yet another edition of 21 Minutes with KKB, the business edition. And as I always say, the show is proudly brought to you by MTN Business. MTN Business is what? Your partner for growth. Today I have a very inspiring story for you watching us today. The story of someone who, of course, after getting the university degree and the like and getting a job, he says, no, I don't like my job. I don't know why, but for some strange reason, he felt that no, that was not his calling. He could not do an 8 to 5 like several others, no. And so he decided to quit his job, go into hawking, and on the back of that, eventually come up with one of the most top-notch watch brands in Ghana and indeed in Africa today. Today, my guest is Chief Executive Officer for Caveman Watches, Anthony Dzamefe. And guess what? We'll do this in 21 minutes.
When we connect, everything is possible. Whatever seems unreachable becomes even closer. Building partnerships, redefining the norms. Because when we connect, being there becomes possible, and new ideas come to life. Stay ahead and stay connected with MTN Business Broadband. Superior internet solutions that drive your dreams. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh or call or WhatsApp 0244 308 111.
Many thanks for staying with us right here on 21 Minutes with KKB, the business edition. And for you watching right now, there's good news for you, particularly if you are a small to medium scale business owner. With SME Plus, you get to manage all your operational costs in communication. Now, this service simply allows you to choose from affordable packages and enjoy talk time, SMS, data, and business content all bundled into one subscription. The other exciting news that you must know of also is the fact that you get free on-net calls. It means if you're on MTN and any of your clients is on MTN, you have the liberty to make any call you want for free every Monday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Simply dial *5060# to sign up today, or you can also WhatsApp or call 0244 308 111 for more information. And our First National Bank is offering businesses, both big and small, an opportunity to switch and enjoy 0 monthly account fee with any of their business check accounts. Now, 3 months fee free banking anytime you open a business check account between now and September 2022. This makes business sense, right? Of course it does. Now, the impossible just got bigger and better with First National Bank, Bank of the Changeables. One small change, remember, can make a huge difference. All you have to do is to visit any of your branches in Accra, Kumasi, or Takrade, or call 0242 435 050, and we'll send one of our friendly business bankers to you to start the switch process. First National Bank. Now, how can we help you? Today, my guest is Anthony Dzamefe, the Chief Executive Officer for Caveman Watches. From the starting point up until now, how has the journey?
I saw somebody selling a watch on one of these online platforms for 50 cedis. So I just called the person and I bought the watch just to use for myself. I happened to wear the watch. I took a picture of it and somebody said, "Oh, Charlie, your watch, the bill. Are you selling it?" And I said, "Yeah." So he came and then he bought the watch. I think that was the light bulb moment for me.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, wow.
The Eureka moment.
Yeah, maybe I could make a business out of this. And I called the supplier back and I bought 2 more. I sold 2 and I bought 3. I sold 3 and I bought 4. That was the beginning of my wristwatch adventure.
So you had become a middleman. You were buying and selling.
Yeah.
Okay. How then did you move from that aspect of the entire value chain to producing your own brand and selling? Because it's a huge risk, you know?
Yeah, it is, but I think starting small is a good thing.
Right.
It gives you enough time to learn the industry properly. So when I started selling watches that way, I think after every couple of months, I wanted to add some value, add something new. So I moved from just selling watches to venturing into repairing watches, and then ventured into making leather straps.
Right.
Because I realized people had good watches, but the straps were just bad. They didn't want to buy a new watch, but just to change their straps.
Strap, yeah.
I would learn watch repairs from the roadside watch repairers. I ended up in Kantamanto, being an apprentice to a shoemaker for a couple of months to learn leather craft. You know, so after every time I would add something new. So I think it was 3 years after selling watches and repairing watches and getting to know a lot about watches and the entire industry, knowing how they are made. Because I could break down different watches, take their components out and form a new watch with it. That kept accurate time. So the curiosity was in my mind. And also I used to research about African watch brands, and I couldn't find any African watch brand. So all those things led to me being very curious that, I mean, if I know how these things are made, I know so much about the industry, but how come no African has done it? So I was really curious, and I wanted to, when I'm curious, I always try to poke my nose in there, you know, so yeah, that's how the whole interest built up.
I see.
Bit by bit, yeah.
I see. So essentially, I picked some valuable lessons from what you are saying, that you had to take 3 years off the top of everything to go into apprenticeship, to learn the crafts of the business. Is that something you think today's entrepreneurs are lacking? A lot of people start up and, you know, they want to be there, and before long, the little things they perhaps needed to pay attention to, they forgot to pay a bit more attention to it, and that becomes their Achilles heel. Yeah,
you are right about that. One of the things I also identified is that a lot of people, entrepreneurs, when they want to start a business, they have a picture of the grand setup in their mind. So they always think they need a lot of capital to start it. But when you think about breaking the business down into the most basic components and starting small and being patient to start small and build it gradually, we can all actually achieve things that people just have images of the grand picture in their mind. So they always think they need so much capital. And then, the learning aspect too. I think entrepreneurs should invest more time, should be humble enough. So I think it's very important. I was humble enough to go to the roadside watch repairers. I had my degree. I'm here in Kantamanto, being an apprentice to a shoemaker, because I knew I had to learn something. So, I think that's very important. The humility in that is very important.
Okay. So now you have brought in the element of education. How you attended which university?
UPS.
You are UPSA, okay, University for Professional Studies, Accra. So, and you got a degree in what?
Business management.
Business management.
Yes.
Okay. So, again, I'll take you back. So, yes, you are at the hotel working. Yes, you didn't like it, but you had a degree which you could have leveraged on to get some other white-collar job.
Yeah.
Why not focus on that? Because you went to school for a degree so that you could get a fancy job somewhere, right?
I think along the line, like I said, identifying yourself is very important.
Okay.
I identified myself along the line.
Okay.
And I could be very honest with myself that I was not built for probably the corporate sector.
8 to 5.
I was not built for it.
Right.
I think my creativity demands more freedom.
Right.
So anywhere I have found myself working, I always had issues.
Okay.
Yeah, my creativity wouldn't allow me to be boxed like that. So I would always rebel a lot. And I came to identify that now, I think I have to create my own.
You have to do your own thing.
When we connect, everything is possible. whatever seems unreachable becomes even closer. Building partnerships, redefining the norms. Because when we connect, being there becomes possible, and new ideas come to life. Stay ahead and stay connected with MTN Business Broadband. Superior internet solutions that drive your dreams. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh or call or WhatsApp 0244 308 111.
Kwajo, I wish you well on your new job and place. Be fine.
Hello, Grandpa.
My grandson, I learned you are leaving your father's hacienda to go and increase your standard of living to an astronomical quotient. I believe that you are trying to bless him. This is my pneumatological aberration. From the Abinkunabolis to the eschatological divinity. I bought you these from the Makers Electronics Company Limited. Take it. Go forth and conquer.
My son, when you receive your first salary, the next line of action, make sure so to Trumikako, the Makers Electronics Company Limited.
The Makers Electronics Company Limited. Our Taifa Highway. Obesan Womo. Our Amasaman Zongo Junction. Ashraman so Omo Vaco Flats. Kumasi. Ahinima Kokobe. The Makers Emma up to 67% discount. Fred the Makers Electronics Company Limited is here. 055 22 253 and 055 22 254. The Kawunsi here called the Makers Electronics Company Limited. The Makers Electronics Company Limited, large and in charge with quality but affordable home appliances and consumer electronics.
So we are still here with Anthony Dzamefe, the Chief Executive Officer for Caveman Watches. And if you still haven't gotten yourself a Caveman watch as of now, whether as a gift or as a personal thing that you are using, or even as something for the future, you just get it and keep it somewhere. You see this showing rather nicely on your screen? Yeah, it's a Caveman watch. You must get one. Anyway, today we are having a very, very insightful conversation with him, and a few lessons we've picked so far include the fact that, well, we have to be humble enough to learn to study the rudiments of the profession in which we decide to start our businesses in. So he, for instance, decided to go to Kantamanto and learn from a few people for a number of years, 3 years actually, just so he could really understand what goes into making a watch, a good watch, and understanding what it is that people want when people come in and say they want a watch. Why do they ask for certain types of watches and the like, what their preferences are. Tony, okay, so essentially that was it. But let's take a look at building the brand and what it has meant for you personally. Let's begin by asking, why the name Caveman?
The name Caveman, two reasons.
Okay.
One deeper reason, one on a lighter note. Naturally, I had been an indoor person so much.
Right.
I hardly ever liked going out. So when I got into making of leather straps and repairs, I mean, I was so fascinated about the whole thing that I spent days indoors, like I wouldn't even come out. So when people invited me anywhere, I would jokingly say, "Oh, Charlie, I did my cave inside." Or, and then, like, we were just joking about that. But the deeper reason behind the name is that along the line, I would always watch these Discovery channels and TV while I'm working. And one of them that really caught my attention was one documentary about the pyramids, the Egyptian pyramids,
Right.
and how up till now the modern day scientists cannot comprehend how people back then built a structure that complex. You get it? They really got my attention. I was like, whoa, these people didn't have technology and all the things we have now, but they're able to build structures.
Right.
They're even able to build things that up till now can be found in museums in top quality. So I said, whoa, okay, I'm going to build a brand that would incorporate the elements of handcraft, durability, and the originality of how cavemen built their things. So these are the elements I took from the caveman's craft to
But why not? I mean, for the Egyptians, they're synonymous with the pyramid. So why not a name like, say, the pyramid? Why Caveman?
No, I wanted the whole handcraft element because I could identify that I was good with my hands. I'm very crafty.
Right.
So yeah, the more I get hands-on to create things, I mean, it gives me that caveman attachment.
That's a good one, actually. So let's now take a look at this. So of course, you've told us about building the brand and how the name even came about. But for a startup company, managing to do so well over, how long have you done this?
Caveman,
yes,
particularly from 2019.
Okay, so that's just about what, 2-3 years?
Yeah, we're not even 3 years yet. But I mean, I started the watch business from 2015. So the first few years had been me selling imported watches. Right. Yeah. So I introduced Caveman December 2018, that's when I launched the brand. Right. We started operating from January 2019, so technically from January.
So you spent, say...
3-4 years.
4 years conceptualizing the thing and building it. And in 2 years, you have catapulted the brand to this very level. I mean, as we spoke, you mentioned some very, very popular names now. I mean, Desmond Elliott, for instance, Don Jazzy, all of these people with huge following. They are not even Ghanaian anyway. And oftentimes, the biggest challenge with people who produce some of these products here in the country is how they can get it exported to the foreign markets. You already seem to have done that. How did you manage it?
The patience is very important. Like you were saying, if I took so long to draw up the concept, you get it. The experience is very important. Right. So I started from scratch. I got very experienced in the industry. Okay. I could see somebody's watch from afar and just tell you how much the watch should cost, what it is made out of. I knew watches inside out. Right. And that comes with time and experience. So I think the experience had been very important. Going through the ranks, repairing watches also made me aware of the problems that usually come with watches, and how to design my own watches to avoid these problems. All that is information that required time and experience and a lot of hard work to build. So you could say that, yeah, I built enough and I was knowing buyer preferences, things people look out for when they are buying watches, the type of watch designs that happen to sell quicker than others. Right. All this information I gathered along the way informed my decision when it comes to designing my watches and the quality, because I know the problems the watches have. Most imported watches were not even built for our weather conditions, so I know what happens when. Yeah, so the information, the experience, and all that I gathered over the time, that was what ensured that I hit the ground running. I had a good database of customers. I was not just a random guy who popped out of somewhere with his brand. I was known for being a watch guy. I hawked my watches in traffic, at car parks, people's offices. I moved from office to office repairing watches for people. So when I introduced my brand, they had the trust that, okay, the guy knows watches. He knows what he's doing. So all that for 3-4 years was very vital. So I'm very confident in the industry. I'm confident in the quality of the watches. I think all these things played a very great part.
Okay, so you've built a solid brand, no two ways about it. And so I would think that, I mean, you do whatever you have to do to protect this brand, huge brand. In Ghana, you know, people tend to find ways of tarnishing reputations one way or the other, or aligning you to one group or the other. I saw John Dumelo put your video on his Instagram page and the like, and it did come with a lot of positive reviews. But of course, in a country such as Ghana, you can be sure you have some negative remarks. Some saying, oh, he's NDC, blah, blah, blah. Don't even buy his watches and the like. How much of a problem is that for you?
Using brand ambassadors, I mean, it's a very old but gold strategy in pushing a brand. Right. But we should just be concerned more about the legalities of it, not about not too much about perceptions or it's important to consider reputation, but if the person is not doing anything illegal, you shouldn't be bothered much because for popular people, they have different type of perceptions about them. You can't change that if you are a popular person. So if you are popular, a famous person who has the numbers that can help my brand, if you are not doing anything illegal, anything unethical, I don't have a problem with you. As for what people think about you, is people's jobs anyways.
I imagine what huge endorsement it is to have some of these iconic brands use your products. But for me, I just think it's mind-blowing if I get to hear or see that the President of the Republic is using your product. How does that feel? How did that even come about to begin with?
With the President, I think it was a gift from somebody to him. Yeah, so we got the order from somebody, and while I was working on the watch, the person wanted to have the words His Excellency in the watch. So I even asked one of my people, who could this watch be for? Yeah, and it was quite a grand watch, so I suspected it might be for him, but I didn't ask any further questions. So I worked on the watches and then it got delivered. And usually I would call my customers to follow up on the product they've purchased. So I called the client and I was trying to find out, to get feedback. You know, and then he mentioned that the watch was for the President, and I said, "Oh, okay, I suspected that, but I just didn't want to ask questions." So yes, that's how come the President's own came about. I think 2 watches. He has 2 of our watches.
Anthony, thank you so much for your time today on 21 Minutes with KKB, the business edition. And Anthony Dzamefe, who is the Chief Executive Officer for Caveman Watches, has been our guest today on 21 Minutes with KKB, the business edition. The show was proudly brought to you by MTN Business, and MTN Business is your partner for growth. There's good news for you watching me right now if you're a small to medium scale business owner. With SME Plus, you get to manage all your operational costs in communication. This service is very simple, and what it does is that it allows you to choose from affordable packages and enjoy talk time, SMS, data, and business content all bundled into one subscription. The other exciting news is that you get free on-net calls every Monday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. You know they like this. What do they like? Okay. You're asking what you should do. It's very simple. Just pick up your phone right now, dial *5060# to sign up today. Or alternatively, you can just WhatsApp or call the number 0244 308 111 for more information and stay connected everywhere you go. It's also brought to you in partnership with First National Bank. Now, First National Bank is offering businesses, both big and small, an opportunity to switch and enjoy 0 monthly account fee with any of their business check accounts. Now, 3 months free banking anytime you open a business check account between now and September 2022. This makes business sense, right? Of course it does. Now, the impossible just got bigger and better with First National Bank. Bank of the changeables. One small change, remember, can make a huge difference. All you have to do is to visit any of your branches in Accra, Kumasi, or Takrade, or call 0242 435 050, and we'll send one of our friendly business bankers to you to start the switch process. First National Bank. Now, how can we help you? That's it from me. I'll see you soon, hopefully, with another guest you're expecting.
The business edition of 21 Minutes with KKB was proudly brought to you by
MTN Business Broadband.
First National Bank, Bank of the Changeables.
The Makers Electronics Company Limited, large and in charge with quality but affordable home appliances and consumer electronics.